Welcome to the mystical land that is joannaland. I am your host, Joanna Dreiling, and I am beyond excited to be on this journey of transformation over a lifetime with you. This is a space dedicated to your highest evolution and our collective igniting a deeper humanhood. Let's roll, baby. What is up, beautiful people? We are back with basically a part 2 to last week's episode of the podcast and a continuation on the conversation that we had in terms of reflection. And it's not so much as reflecting this time that we're talking about, but what I want to talk about, and I keep referencing a YouTube video, and it is the YouTube video of literally exactly a year ago today of me in this exact same spot talking about how I wanted to relaunch the YouTube and about 2023. And also something that I talked about in that video that I actually wanted to take a whole podcast episode to actually sit and talk about is, it's just even like, it's a little touchy and feely for me to even say, but I want to take a whole episode to talk about our dream shifting and that like the grace required for our dreams shifting, and that the reality of our dreams shifting, like it will happen. It will happen. I'm just going to let you know. So in the 2023 reprise video on YouTube, I'm talking about how I'm supposed to be in Virginia for a month. I'm supposed to be in Virginia for a month, for just the month of September 2023. Turns out that the tenant that was living in the apartment over the garage at my mom's house left. So then I got access to that apartment. Then we renovated the place, painted the whole entire thing, and I've been living there since. Like, I literally, a year ago, was like, I'm going to go to Guatemala. I'm going to do all these things. I'm going to live nomadically. And I've literally just been in the same place, basically, for a whole entire year, other than just a couple of trips to Michigan and, gallivanting here and there across Virginia and like a trip to Chicago. I have been the most grounded that I have been my whole entire life, basically since 2001, at least. And it is wild to me. It's amazing to me to bring it back last week's theme to reflect on what my dreams were and what my goals and intentions were this time last year and what they are now and how much they've changed. And the biggest thing of today's episode is that it's just really that we need to allow, hello, Lady Luna. We need to allow our dreams to evolve as we evolve, that as we uncover new knowledge, that if we uncover new aspects of ourselves, as we let go of aspects of ourselves that weren't actually true to us, that on the other side of that, we are inevitably going to find different dreams, different goals, different intentions for ourselves. And in the process of those shifting, that we need to give ourselves grace that they don't look the same. I still desire to be nomadic in some ways. I don't want to do it alone. I've come to the conclusion that being nomadic alone as a single female is it's so fun. Yes, I absolutely love solo female traveling, but also I love going deep with people. And it's hard to go deep with people when you're meeting new people all the time. And it's you're constantly shifting places and everything. There's not capacity to go deep. And it gets really lonely on the road. I talked about it, maybe I didn't, maybe I did, but it gets really lonely on the road, and it's hard to well, it's not even hard. It's not even about that. It's not, it's more so that I would just find it more enjoyable with somebody else. And I want to live nomadically, but I want to do it in full integrity financially and not find myself in a fuck ton of credit card debt as a result of living that way, because I'm traveling versus actually making the money and the means to travel, which, yes, I know is just an idiotic move, but sometimes we just weren't thinking. There's just some things we just weren't thinking, but brutal honesty with yourself will get you those places. But that's what happens when you stop dumbing certain feelings. You know what I'm saying? So that I think we just get caught up in our achieving our goals and our dreams. And then we have particular dreams And that when we shift dreams, that there's like shame around it, that we've got to like come clean about it, that like something is happening or like whatever. And I'm just here to tell you that when we evolve, and as we evolve, it's okay for our dreams to evolve with them. Because yes, I want to be nomadic, but also like the thing that's gotten me through this last year is the thought of a freaking fracking family to be able to go explore the world with. Or at least just a partner. At least just bare minimum a partner, okay? Like, also the reality is that like as we evolve, well, it's like, yes, our goals are shifting, but like right now, my priority like years ago was to travel. And that's why I wanted to become a coach and have the location independence. And also right now, my priority is paying off of my debt. And so that is most helpful and most logical, staying stationary, which is part of why I have been in Virginia for as long as I have. Also, just going through a huge major grieving process that you guys have heard plenty about on the podcast that like just kept me stationary. And that was exactly what I needed in the process. And that sometimes also, this brings me to a good point, that like sometimes in the process of us allowing ourselves to step back from the dream, when our dreams shift and as our dreams evolve, as will our priorities. And my priorities are just in a totally different place right now in this moment in time than they were at this time last year. Like I was like trying to get the heck out of Dodge, whereas this year I'm trying to stay at my mother's house in that beautiful piece of property for as long as I can in order to pay off as much debt as possible and stack as much cash as possible. Excuse me. And it's like, and I need to give myself grace because that is in pursuit of a long-term vision and long-term dream, because I do want to have a family and I want to be able to support myself and my family. And I have oh yeah, LOL. I'm spinning in circles. I'm getting super hype. And I just want to let you know, and then I just also want to talk about and touch on the shame that can come up when the dream changes, because that also happened to me in 2021. And if you've been on listening to the podcast for long enough, I didn't even have any podcast episodes in 2021 because that's how deep that year went. I think it was 2021 without episodes. In 2021, which is the year that I built out the van, my baby girl Juno. And Juno, I built her out and had the intentions of living in her. And then I realized once I was partially way through the build that she wasn't big enough to have like a sink and a toilet, and that I couldn't actually live out of her. And so then at September of 2021, 3 years ago, I had a huge breakdown essentially, and just like had a huge financial awakening moment, I guess, more or less, and was like, oh, I've got to like do something different. So I considered getting into real estate and just totally shirked the idea of living in the van altogether and didn't go nomadic and decided to live go back and live in Grand Rapids and to pursue real estate, by the way, which ended up obviously not happening because we left to Grand Rapids. I decided not to pursue real estate in 2022. I got to a point maybe in March that I was like, wait a second, I don't want to actually do this. But yeah, I'm just out here basically being the poster child for figuring out what you want to do and allowing your dreams to shift. But also that in 2021, I had a huge level of shame around basically having oriented my whole entire life, audience, even to like living nomadically in 2021, and then having to be like, wait a second, in 2022, having to be like, actually I decided to like get an apartment, and like that totally is not happening anymore. And I won't lie, I had a good amount of shame around it. And like having to like share with the world that like that's not what was happening anymore. And honestly, it like doesn't even matter to them, you know. It shouldn't matter to those people, and it really doesn't matter to those people. And I just I say all of this to let you know that it's okay, that your dreams change, that they will evolve with you as you evolve too, and that it is okay, and that whatever shame comes up can be transmuted very easily, because guess what? Because you can trust that as new parts of yourself become clear to you, that new parts of your dreams will become more clear to you too. And also, as you live less and less out of survival mode, you'll also find that your dreams become more and more clear as well. So I love you. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and I will see you next time.